Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we just pulled the decks at random. Today we're going to be reading on Sebastian Rogers, but specifically Chris Proudfoot. I was debating on whether to go Chris or Katie, but we already know that Katie was in the house with Sebastian. I want to know if the timeline for Chris Proudfoot places him in the home around whatever happened with Sebastian's disappearance, because we also know Sebastian was in town at the house Sunday night. So Chris is kind of the wild card here, where we don't really know that he was in the house or in town that weekend, although I guess we kind of do. But yeah, we're just going to see what Spirit has to say, what kind of energies come out around Chris Proudfoot the night that Sebastian went missing. And we're going to do the timeline spread with the clock again. And I think this time we're going to do 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. again, like we just did for John Andrew for John Bonet. If you missed that, we just read on John Andrew last night, so you can go check out that if that interests you and what he was doing the night that John Bonet was killed. Tonight we're going to read Chris Proudfoot. I pulled the decks at random. We have the Osho Zen, the Everyday Witch, the Romance Angels, Island Time Wellness, the Disney 100, standard playing cards, and then we have a Dark Mirror. So I think what I'm going to do is pull an opening energy from the Disney 100 to see which characters come out here. I think we're going to pull the Romance Angels for the center of the clock, because I do feel like this had a lot to do with whatever was going on in Chris and Katie's marriage. So maybe that will tell us more there. And then we'll pull times with the Osho Zen and the Everyday Witch. We'll clarify with Island Time Wellness, and we will end it with a Dark Mirror. The bottom of the deck had Shadowland Lenormand, so if we need clarifiers or additional cards for anything, we'll pull the Shadowland Lenormand, which I have out. But if we don't need it, we won't use it. It just showed itself at the bottom of the deck, so that's an option we're going to use today as well. All right, let's get started. Let's see what Chris Proudfoot was up to the night Sebastian disappeared. The story is he was in Memphis working, and he was on the phone with Katie. I think they said from like, I don't know, 9 or 10 p.m. until like midnight. It was their story. She put Sebastian to bed around 9 or 10. She was studying, talking to Chris on the phone, fell asleep, went to bed, woke up, Sebastian was gone. So that's the story, and let's see where the energy puts Chris during that time frame that they were supposedly on the phone with each other. I'm just giving these a quick shuffle. I already pre-shuffled the decks. I just, again, want to see, make sure that you guys see me do it on camera. I mean, to be honest, not that I really care if people think I shuffle or not. I mean, I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. The good news about tarot is there are so many tarot readers here on YouTube. You guys are not in short supply of finding a reader that works for you. So if I am not the reader, no hard feelings here. Find the one that resonates with you. If you do enjoy the content, please consider subscribing, liking the video. All right, let's get an overall energy from the Disney 100. All right, Spirit, can you help us understand Chris Proudfoot's energy? Oh, that was pretty quick. Queen of Spades with Minnie. So I do feel like we're going to be, especially with the different cards that came out, like the Island Time Wellness and the Romance Angels, I do feel like Chris's energy is going to have a spotlight on Katie. So we have the Queen of Spades and we have Minnie Mouse showing up here. You know, after these decks came out, when I pulled them, I knew we were going to read on Chris, but I almost wondered if this was going to be a Katie timeline. So another deck on the floor. I got to figure that out. I need to quit shuffling over my lap. I don't know, it landed face down, so I can't see what it was, but we're going to put those back. We're opening with the Queen of Spades for Minnie Mouse. All right, let's get a center energy from the Romance Angels. Spirit, can you help us understand I wasn't done asking the question, but I will highlight what I'm seeing, or I will tell you guys what I see being highlighted here. I have Let Go of Control Issues in my hand. And then this is the card that wanted to flip out with Give Your Relationship a Chance and Work on Your Relationship. I'm going to put it back because I wasn't done answering the question. Spirit, show us the heart of the energy around Chris and potentially Katie, since you're showing us the Queen here, as it pertains to 10 p.m. February 25th to 10 a.m. on February 26th, as it relates to Chris Proudfoot. Can you show us the heart of the energy during that time frame? What is the heart of the energy from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m.? This is a timing card, so I will keep it, but I want to see what very soon is referring to. Clearly decide what you want so it comes to you now. I'm going to get a clarifier. Spirit, what is very soon as it pertains to this time? What are we talking about very soon here? It's too many, but again, I will show you guys. Express your love, pay attention to the red flags, and chemistry. I don't ever use this deck. This may have been shown on the channel maybe once or twice, if at all. I don't really remember if I've ever used this deck for you guys, so I feel like it has a lot to say. Can I get one card for very soon? Thank you. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. It's at the bottom. That doesn't... Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Religious factors. So what I was looking at here was the top of this crown has the different religious symbols on it. So you can see like the Ankh and the Star of David and the crescent moon with the star. I'm assuming that's a cross. I don't know what this is. I think that's Indian. But again, this highlight on this female figure, which could again be pointing at Katie. Before I was pulling out the cards, before I was going to choose the decks for Sebastian, knowing that I wanted to do a timeline on Chris, I did a quick channeled write. A few of you have asked me to do a channeled writing for Sebastian, and I will do an in-depth channeled writing for him. But I was just sitting here and I was just doodling just to see what would come out very briefly and not really entranced in my meditative channeled writing state. But I will show you guys what I was getting for Sebastian. Again, with the like geometrical symbols that continue to come out in my channeled writings. This was me just getting, this is what reminded me is that Indian symbol at the top is, I know this isn't like Indian writing, but I often do writing like this. And I know that isn't anything because I've tried to ask other people if this is any sort of like language or I don't know, but it doesn't, I don't know, my hand just does that sometimes. And as I got into the actual shape, I was hearing line, 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 two circles. So I was doing like line, 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 and then line, 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 and then two circles. So I was doing two circles here, and then I put two dots in the middle. But then it became more clear in my mind to do line, 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 like as in like a pole, like line, 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 and then the two circles. So I don't know if this is like 4 poles, 2 circles, but definitely an emphasis on 2 circles and line, 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 line. So this is the most dominant energy here. So it kind of started messy in my head as I was hearing it here, and then it became more clear what the actual symbol should be. So again, I don't know what symbol this is, and maybe if you guys know, I don't know if this has anything to do with construction since I was trying to tune into Chris, but I don't know what exactly this is supposed to be. And then I started, you know, wondering, okay, is this train tracks? Is this like poles, like energy, like the like telephone pole type energy, or is this like a bridge type of energy? But the 2 circles were very clear in my head. Line, 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 2 circles. So this is just kind of how it translated. So I just wanted to show you guys that. I don't know how that's going to play out in terms of the reading or what any of that is going to mean. I want to dig into that more, but that was just a quick energy I was getting. Yeah, I do want to dive into an actual lengthy meditative channel writing for Sebastian. I just need to do that and get that out to you guys. It just hasn't felt right. I've tried to do it before and the messages just weren't ready to be shared apparently, so we're going to try it again. All right, I'm going to get a 10 p.m., 1 a.m., 4 a.m., and 7 a.m. energy here for Chris Proudfoot with the Everyday Witch. Queen of Pentacles. So we have the Queen of Spades there, Queen of Pentacles here, the woman in the middle, heavy woman energy. So this is either Chris's mom or Katie. King of Pentacles, look at that. The pair right there, the husband and the wife. 10, 11, 12, and 1, we have the King and Queen of Pentacles. So 4 a.m. Page of Cups. This is that energy I seen of Sebastian. He's barefoot here. And he made some kind of mess. I was getting the energy of something being spilled. Okay, so we're seeing the 3 of them already in this time spread. Wow. Two of Pentacles. I wonder if I should spread this out a little more. Eight of Swords here at the bottom. All right, let's use the Osho Zen to get the in-between times. 11 and 12, 2 and 3, 5 and 6, 8 and 9. Spirit shows the energy between the King and Queen of Pentacles from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. What is going on here between these two in this time frame? Two of Swords, schizophrenia. Wow, I was just going to clarify here between 2 and 3 a.m. and the King of Pentacles showed itself again. So King of Pentacles is definitely present from 1 to 3 a.m. It looks like the Queen of Pentacles possibly was alone at 10 p.m. and then something here with schizophrenia and possibly like a psychotic break happened after 10 p.m. with Katie and Sebastian. Chris shows up at the scene potentially around 1 a.m. I mean, double confirmation by 1 a.m. he is showing in the energy around Sebastian's disappearance. So let's clarify now again from this 2 to 3. 2 and 3 a.m. Control. That's the King of Swords. A lot of court cards here. The Queen started there. We have Queen, King, 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 Page. Control. Taking control of the situation. Maybe Katie started something, Chris was called in, and Chris is taking control of Sebastian, or a fight broke out here. And now he's like, maybe, no. Get down. Maybe like Katie calls in because some fight breaks out or something, and then he comes in and is like handling Sebastian at this point, like for Katie. Like coming in as like the disciplinarian. Beyond illusion. With isolation. 3 of Swords. All right, let's clarify. This is 4 a.m. So 5 and 6 a.m. 5 and 6 a.m. Success with that tiger. There's the tiger that continues to show for Sebastian. Yeah, by 5 and 6 a.m. we know he was no longer in the house. Or this could also be somebody else that Chris called in. If he knew he had to get back to work, if he was there at 1 a.m. and he knew he had to get back to work by 6 a.m. or whenever he was on that crane, maybe this is where he calls in backup to finish getting rid of Sebastian or taking him off the property, because we know Chris would have had to have been back to work by 6 a.m. when he got the call from Katie. So at some point he had to leave his phone on with her, leave to go back home. Maybe she called him at 10. He gets there at 1 a.m. From 1 to 3 a.m. he's there at home, handling whatever's going on here. Call someone in to help clean up. Again, that energy of 3 people, and then he takes off back to work. And then between 5 and 6, we have this tiger card there with Sebastian and a successful something. Something was a success at this point by 5 and 6 a.m. The Empress here showing itself with that 2 of Pentacles energy I was just about to clarify. Like a successful handoff is what I'm seeing here. Between 5 and 6 a.m. there's a successful handoff from the Empress. Exhaustion, yeah, being up all night. She's exhausted by this point. Lots of energy around Sebastian's mom. I'm gonna put this one here for this successful handoff from the Empress to somebody else by 7 a.m. He's gone. So then this is where Chris should show back up on the scene if we're looking at 8 and 9. Actually, I don't know what time he got there. Didn't they say he didn't get there until like 1 p.m.? I don't know what time Chris actually got home after Katie told him Sebastian was missing. He left work. I think he didn't get home until like 1 p.m. So maybe he doesn't show back up here, but let's see what shows up between 8 and 9 a.m. 10 of Swords. Rebirth. This is a painful ending. Bottom of the deck going with the flow that's showing a body in water. So this death and rebirth card here with the 10 of Swords by 8 and 9 a.m. before 10 a.m. potentially he's officially gone at that point. Somebody else has him. This is a handoff to the King of Swords. At this point, Chris is gone. Somebody else has Sebastian. At 4 a.m., Sebastian is in the energy of this King of Swords. A successful handoff, death and rebirth within that water card. There's something happening here between 10 and 1, 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m. with schizophrenia. And I'm going to read that in the book just to see if there's anything I'm missing there, because I feel like this is an important part of when things actually shifted or were put into place. It's like when the lights were supposed to go off for Sebastian to go to bed is when this plan was set into motion. We did the deed, we went to dinner, we came home, we got ready for bed. Sebastian is now quote unquote in bed, lights are off. Now this is where all the nefarious activity starts. And definitely showing Chris and Katie here with schizophrenia. So I just want to dive into that energy a little bit more, since I feel like that's a really important part of the timeline here. Let's see. The person on the card brings a new twist to the old idea of getting stuck between a rock and a hard place. But we are in precisely this sort of situation when we get stuck in the indecisive and dualistic aspect of the mind. Should I let my arms go and fall head first, or let my legs go and fall feet first? Should I go here or there? Should I say yes or no? And whatever decision we make, we will always wonder if we should have decided the other way. The only way out of this dilemma is, unfortunately, to let go of both at once. You can't work your way out of this one by solving it, making lists of pros and cons, or in any way working it out with your mind. Better to follow your heart, if you can find it. If you can't find it, just jump. Your heart will start beating so fast there will be no mistake about where it is. Yeah, that decision. There's no going back from this decision. It's being stuck between a rock and a hard place. It also talks about like split personality. That could be like bipolar. If Katie was considered bipolar or had some sort of personality disorder, like, or potentially even schizophrenia. Bipolar, what's the other one? Borderline personality disorder. In this way, happiness is not possible. Unhappiness is a natural consequence of split personality. Unhappiness is a natural consequence for split personality. Okay, let's clarify with the Island Time Wellness. Let's clarify this center card, because I don't know what that spiritual factors or religious factors is trying to say with very soon. Spirit, can we clarify the center energy? Keys on a ring, many options, decisions. Unconventional, string along, a one-night stand. There was definitely the energy showing around Katie, potentially having some sort of fling. It's also that energy of that whole swingers I keep getting with Chris and Katie, where they're both either in an open relationship, seeing other people, do weird stuff as it pertains to like switching partners or going to different meetups or clubs around swinging. I don't know. Keys on a ring. A one-night stand, having many options, but this is also talking about a decision. Same with the schizophrenia, making a decision, being split, not knowing if you want to go feet first or head first. This could also be like many personalities. All right, let's clarify between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. with schizophrenia. Sunglasses. Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting. Whoa. With schizophrenia and being gaslit is when you feel like you're going crazy. When you see something and you believe it to be true and someone tells you you aren't, you start to feel like your brain is playing tricks on you. Like you're not seeing what you're seeing. Like maybe you're hearing voices. Wow, gaslighting with schizophrenia for Katie and Chris. It's telling me like Chris had more control over Katie's mind than people are aware of. Very narcissistic, a lot of gaslighting going on here between the two of them, potentially causing Katie to lose her mind, feel crazy, hear things and see things she's not sure she's actually hearing and seeing. Let's clarify this double King of Pentacles around 1 a.m. The Grim Reaper, are you kidding me? Wow. The Grim Reaper, where Chris shows up twice at 1 a.m. This is the relationship is over. No second chances. And I'm just getting this scene playing out in my head of like some sort of gaslighting situation where he's telling her he knows she's cheating on him or something like that. And I feel like he even shows up in the middle of the night. There's some sort of falling out here, but also some sort of manipulation and gaslighting. There was, I feel some sort of conflict with Chris and Katie that night. And I do see two different kings here. We see the King of Swords with the King of Pentacles. The Grim Reaper, that is crazy. Where we have 3 kings showing up here, and this is 1 a.m., 2 and 3 a.m. So between 1 and 3 a.m., the Grim Reaper is sitting here. Let's clarify the energy between the King of Swords and what I'm going to call Sebastian's energy at 4 a.m. So between 3 and 4 a.m., the Runner. Yeah, I'm getting the energy that this King of Swords was here to take Sebastian, to run with him. Like, leave the area quickly with Sebastian by 4 a.m. Let's clarify Sebastian's energy at 4 a.m. with the 5 and 6 a.m. of success with the Tiger. The Butterfly. Healing the inner child. Butterfly could also be a card of transition, relationship evolving to the next phase. I wonder if Sebastian was gone at this point. Like, I'm almost getting the energy of like he tried to get away. And then by 5 and 6 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m.-ish is when maybe he transitioned. Not today, and this card says still angry. Between Success and the Empress. But we're seeing a man on the phone here. 4, 5, and 6 a.m. Supposedly Katie did call Chris, the Empress, with this phone call. I don't remember if it was 6 a.m. that she called him. So somebody's still angry at this point. That's what it says, but then it's just showing the energy of being on the phone. So here for 7 a.m., we have the energy of the 2 of Pentacles with the Empress. I'm going to clarify the 2 of Pentacles with the Empress. Not enough. Frustrated in a relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego, and jealousy. Yeah, a juggling. The Empress and juggling and feeling like she's not enough. Self-sabotage. She's frustrated in her relationship. She has jealousy issues, which led to this 10 of Swords possibly for Sebastian, is just feeling not enough, having some sort of fight with Chris. With having many options, the Grim Reaper, the Runner, and gaslighting, I feel like Chris was always threatening to leave, always on the verge of walking out. There was some big blow up here this night around him leaving the relationship. And then a turn of events. Let's clear. Oh, no, no, no. Don't hit the ground. All right, let's clarify that 10 of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles. For 9 and 10 a.m., 8, 9, 10 a.m. Girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single. Having fun, living in the moment. Feeling relieved that Sebastian's gone and this is finally taken care of. happily single, living in the moment and having fun. Like she finally feels like she got her life back, because this has rebirth. Sebastian's gone at this point. Some sort of success happened early in the morning over whatever happened in the middle of the night. By the morning time, when everybody's there looking for Sebastian, she's having fun with this and she's happy. I mean, look at the energy of the Queen of Spades. I mean, that's a happy Katie. I knew this spread was going to have a lot of energy around Katie. But Chris is definitely showing up here between... At 1 a.m. he's definitely in the house. 10 p.m., 11 and 12. There's something going on with Chris and Katie though. Some sort of conversation. Some sort of gaslighting. Katie's either losing her mind or in a manic episode. There's something going on. I feel like Chris shows up on the scene, or at least makes his presence known energetically to us around 1 a.m. And then by 2, 3, this runner, he's gone by then. Somebody else is stepping in to help. He knows he needs to get back by 6 a.m. to be on that forklift or whatever he drives, the crane. So we know for sure he's gone by this 2, 3 a.m. And then here we show Sebastian with the butterfly and the tiger. I feel like between 4, 5, 6 a.m. something significant is going on with Sebastian, whether he's being relocated or he was unalived during this bottom half. Like this King of Swords, this tiger card, Sebastian, the butterfly, what is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, between 3 and 6 a.m. is when Sebastian's energy shows us crossing over here. I don't know, but then it also shows up again here. So I don't know if this energy up here with going with the flow and rebirth is the energy. Oh, look at this innocence card right under that. Oh, and completion under that. So the world card, completion of innocence and placed in water was showing up when I finished this reading here with that 10 of Swords, which is before 10 a.m. Maybe he was already placed in water before 10 a.m. There's certain readings though that I get the energy that he was put in the ground first or moved, because I get different energy around him being in ground next to a tree. But then I also see him in water. So I don't know what that means. I'm gonna look up the Queen of Spades really quick just to see if there's anything I'm missing there with cartomancy. Wow. In cartomancy, the Queen of Spades generally represents a powerful, intelligent, and even manipulative woman, often signifying a strong, practical, and logical judgment with a potential for calculated actions or cunning behavior. Someone capable of making well thought out decisions. She represents a dominant figure, someone who is in control of the situation and may use their influence to achieve their goals. The Queen of Spades could symbolize deceit, manipulation, or a cold, calculating personality. But we're reading on Chris, so I don't know if that Chris's energy is showing the true nature of Katie. Although he does show up here with the Grim Reaper at 1 a.m. Or by 1 a.m. I mean, shoot, even between this sunglasses and schizophrenia phase, he could already be on the scene. But I feel like definitely around 10 p.m. Katie's showing by herself, and they're together between sometime in between 11 and 1 a.m. Double clarification on Chris here with the Grim Reaper. But yeah, that manipulative, calculated, deceitful woman up there showing at the very top of this clock. I do feel like Katie had so much to do with Sebastian's disappearance. And I do feel like she set everything into motion. Whether Chris gaslit her into this in the way that he made her feel in the relationship or the control he had over her, I feel like ultimately she is the one that put this into motion. And the ending of this energy to end the timeline of the night Sebastian went missing, here we have Katie having fun, showing with that cold-hearted, deceitful woman up there. And again here with the Queen of Pentacles. Let's get a final Dark Mirror card to end this time spread, and then we will do one for Katie, and I want to do one for Sebastian as well. I might hop back and forth. We might go on to a different case from here, and then I'll circle back through just to give the energy a break, so I can kind of clear the reading from my mind from any biased opinions from the cards. So that maybe we'll do a reading for Summer and then come back to Sebastian and back to JonBenet. And then I do want to do this for the Idaho 4 as well, for Brian Kohlberger, see what his energy was like during the time the kids were murdered. All right, Spirit, can I get a final dark mirror energy for Chris Proudfoot, please? The night Sebastian disappeared, can I get an energy for Chris Proudfoot? Sacrifice. Let's see. Card 7. Wow, the moon phase here is anger. That makes sense. Down here it's still angry. There's some sort of the relationship is over, the runner, the gaslighting. There was definitely the energy of anger all around whatever happened the night that Sebastian disappeared. So the stage is anger. Even if I have to break apart, as long as it serves a purpose. A beautiful female knight wears heavy armor. She holds a blade in front of her, and a blade of light slices across her face, showing the deadly seriousness of her stare. The mirror of her resolve. Chris's energy is saying Katie's the one that did this. Or when it comes out, he is going to put the blame all over her. But even the energy continues to highlight Katie as being the person who did this. This is Katie being angry. The deadly seriousness of her stare. The deadly seriousness of her stare. There's a strong power in sacrifice. Our fears, our hopes, they are all chains to a small world. Our sense of self is a small petty creature of uncertain resolve and shaky horizons. With sacrifice, we renounce our sense of self. We accept to be lost. We accept to be shaken and cut and bruised and hurt and burdened and locked and stricken and despised and gossiped and betrayed and misunderstood. To rot, to die, with just words of thanks while the world goes on over our broken dreams. But when we drowned our sense of self to sacrifice, we are also a greater person. We are screaming, I exist. I make a difference. We accept a price to pay, and we used our blood and tears as currency to give us the right to stand tall. Again, I feel like this is highlighting Katie. And her just not feeling enough, not feeling heard. Continues to go back to Katie losing out on a dream or having unfulfilled desires. She feels locked and stricken, despised, gossiped about, betrayed, misunderstood, left alone, to rot, to die. I exist. I make a difference. Just wanting to feel seen. I don't know. Anger with herself, her lost dreams, what she's not able to accomplish. Feeling stuck in this relationship and being a mom, just feeling completely restricted from everything she wants out of life. I feel like she snapped. Katie snapped after 10 p.m. And it shows after all of this came to light and everybody was looking for Sebastian, she's happy. Look at all this energy of the mom straight down the middle. Chris shows up dominantly right here, and it does show up with the Grim Reaper. If you go back to one of my first, maybe this was part 2 of Sebastian's readings when I was reading on the parents. I was reading on Chris, Katie, Seth, and Sebastian, and what I was seeing with Chris was the card that came out when the Fox card came out describing Katie. His card came out with the card with the shovel on it and something berry. It says bury something, and it says that this is the first person on the scene when a corpse is present. And then again, we're seeing Chris show up with the Grim Reaper. So I feel like if Katie snapped and called Chris, he did end up coming out at some point and then had someone help finish the situation. But early on in the readings, it showed Chris was there on the scene when there was a corpse. Or something like that. Although I don't know that Sebastian was killed in the house. Maybe he was, though. All right, as always, I would love to know your guys' thoughts about this. I would like to read Katie next. I mean, although I feel like this was basically a reading on Katie where Chris makes his appearance and we can tell he wasn't innocent with his whole gaslighting feeding into her mental break there. But I do feel like she has undiagnosed mental illnesses, which may come to light if she is ever held responsible for Sebastian's disappearance and she is actually evaluated. I feel like she will have some sort of borderline bipolar schizophrenia diagnosis. But I definitely see Chris here also. And I know he wasn't the easiest person to get along with, and maybe the type of person he is really set off her mental illness, really triggered her in ways. And he probably got off on it in a weird way, knowing that he had that kind of control to make her have like these mental breaks. And I do feel like he used that against her a lot, always threatening to leave, and she felt like she could get out of this prison she was in by somehow getting rid of Sebastian. Or just snapped and Sebastian took the brunt of it. Maybe by accident, maybe not. But the top card tells us again it was like a calculated plan. And there is anger here showing in the center. Not feeling seen and validated, discontent with life, and angry. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new and haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you enjoyed this reading, please like the video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.